In early 2020 in the state of Florida, police finds a deceased man stuffed inside a suitcase. To visualize the horror of this crime, consider the size of a large suitcase. It is 48 centimeters wide and 76 centimeters high. It is the same size as a kiddie bath, the one you would bathe a toddler, or a foot bath, in where you would put your feet for pedicure. It is relatively small. It does not have any zippers on the inside. And now consider an adult man trapped inside long enough he soon struggles to breathe. He stays in the suitcase in the fetal position, suffocating to death, in a similar manner as being buried alive in a coffin, and the only difference is not being able to move as freely as when having the body stretched out flat in a long coffin box. His body is curled up on the belly and knees, laying face down. He spends the night like this, approximately 10 to 11 hours. The suitcase wobbles a few times, moves a small distance, until it stops completely, and observing from a safe distance, a woman taunts him, laughs at him, and refuses to help him out. The man was Jorge Torres. He was 42. The woman recording the following video is his girlfriend, Sarah Boone.
Sarah. That's my name. Don't wear it up. Sarah, I can't breathe, babe. Seriously. Yeah, that's when you do when you choke me, Sarah.
On the docket tonight, the suitcase murder trial out of Orange County, Florida. Here's the story of Sarah Boone.
911, what is the location of your emergency?
It's Monday, February 24th. There's a crisis at the home of Sarah Boone, prompting her to call 911.
Is this a police or medical?
My boyfriend is dead.
Okay, send the line for the fire department. Do not hang up.
The fire department takes over the call, and for the next few minutes, officials are obtaining critical details about what happened.
No, tell me exactly what happened there.
My boyfriend and I were playing last night, and I put him in a case and we were playing, and like kind of hide and seek kind of thing. So I fell asleep, and I woke up, and he was dead in the suitcase. So I don't know what happened.
Okay, is he hanging from somewhere or what, ma'am?
No, I pulled him out of the suitcase. I tried giving him CPR.
Fire and rescue instruct Boone on how to give chest compressions.
Just keep on pumping. That's all you need to do for me. Keep on pumping his chest for me. I don't need you to stop and talk or anything. I just want you to count out loud for me, okay?
31, 32. Please hurry.
Okay, man, they're getting there as fast as they can, okay?
He's stiff and he's purple.
EMS arrived within minutes and advised Boone that her boyfriend, Jorge Torres, had been down too long and there was nothing more they could do. Boone explained she and Torres were drinking the night before and thought it would be funny if he got inside of a suitcase for a game of hide and seek.
The green chair that doesn't move. Appreciate you coming in.
Yes, ma'am. I want to ask you about these whenever we have a moment.
Sure.
Sarah Boone comes in to the interrogation room relaxed, assertive, dominant, which on their own are characteristics of a truthful person, yet in this case those are signs of a narcissistic, psychopathic individual. She denies the so-called accusations in the same manner an innocent person would. That's why at the beginning it's so easy to confuse the two. Initially, you might confuse her aberratic expressive behavior with the person defending themselves in a frenzy, The detective's job is not to figure out who did it. It's pretty self-explanatory, given the video evidence. The detective's aim is to trap the suspect inside a time frame and within the bounds of the detailed story, from where it would be difficult to escape. Think about it as a metaphorical suitcase.
So obviously, he received his autopsy. So I'm going to read you your rights again because we have to talk about that. And since I'm talking about the incident, we just have to do it, just like we did yesterday.
Protocol?
Just like we did yesterday. Remember I read you the rights? Your rights? Yeah. So it's the exact same thing, but since I'm asking you follow-up questions, I need to read them to you, okay?
Sure.
All right. So okay. So this morning we went to his autopsy, and we were informed of some injuries that he has by the doctor. So I want, so he's got scratch marks to his back.
I know what that's from.
Okay. And it's called a contusion. Do you know what a contusion is? So like basically you're getting hit and then you get a mark from it. You'll get bruising, like someone hit you or something like that. It's called a contusion. So he had some injuries to his left shoulder. He had a cut near his lip. We could see his mouth was a little
I haven't laid a hand on him.
When she is presented with the injuries of her deceased partner, her first instincts are to protest. She wasn't accused of anything yet, but she thinks she was. She doesn't think of George. She thinks of herself. It would be hard to listen to this summary of the injuries sustained from a homicide, but she's neither shocked nor disturbed.
Okay.
Also, too, he fell off my son's bike.
Okay.
So I don't know. And he's notorious for running into the wall or the hall tree. So
Okay. What about the scratches? Because there's also sex.
Yes.
Okay. Because there's also like a scratch on the back of his neck, kind of going, but it's going straight across.
I have no idea what that's from.
And they're all recent. They occurred recently. It wasn't something that occurred post or that occurred a week ago or 2 days ago, 3 days ago. They definitely occurred, the night leading up to when he was.
In all honesty, we have not gotten into it.
Okay.
That's why, the only thing I thought you guys were going to ask me about, which I was going to be honest with you anyway, are the scratch marks on his back.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else, I have no idea what it is. No idea what it is. Nonetheless, I've had my son over the house too, so.
Well, your son was there when? When was he last there?
Oh gosh.
From my understanding, he was there last Tuesday.
I don't know if it was Tuesday, but yes, he was there last week. So.
Well, we're talking about Sunday. Yeah. We're just talking about what occurred Sunday. Because, like I said, the injuries they occurred within that time period.
So you're talking about day before yesterday.
Sunday leading into Monday. You called us yesterday at 1, but the incident, you guys were painting and stuff the night prior.
Correct.
So we're talking about Sunday and then into
Monday.
Monday.
I'm thoroughly confused because we had a good time sitting on the back porch having wine and smoking a couple of cigarettes and then decided to go inside and literally paint, do puzzles, and play.
Middle-aged adults can do puzzles and coloring books. That's not against the law. But it is definitely less probable that 2 middle-aged adults were playing hide-and-seek, and the thrill of the game led George to get into the suitcase, zip himself up, and stay like that until she found him about 11 a.m. and called the police.
And listen to music. That's why nobody got out of sorts. This is what's mind-blowing to me. I have no clue. Nobody laid a hand on anybody.
He also had, on the left side of his forehead, he had basically bruising, and on his head and his skull.
I have no idea.
As if something hit him,
I
considered
have not
force
touched him.
trauma.
I have not touched him. I have not touched him.
Then how would you get those injuries?
Tell me and we'll both know. I have not touched him.
Yesterday, when we took photographs of your overall body, and they did the buccal swabs, did they go under your fingernails?
No.
Okay. Are you willing to let us
Absolutely.
swab underneath your fingernails?
Go for it.
Okay.
I have no idea, and I don't want to seem out of sorts, but I have no idea. We had a good day.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good day. We've had good days lately, even considering everything that's going on with our jobs and life in general and ex-wives and everything. It's been good. Like, I don't even know where this is coming from.
Yeah,
I don't even
the
know.
last physical was probably, you said, I think, what, a month ago? Where you got the injury, right? You said that was a month ago?
A few weeks, give or take, yeah.
A few weeks. That was the last, like, physical altercation between the two of you? You said a month ago he hit you with a curtain rod.
Yeah, with a curtain rod. That's why I can't believe you guys didn't take that either.
Oh.
Well, that isn't exactly fair. If their relationship was problematic and constant reports of abuse were filed and then withdrew, it would be hard for the police to determine the level of probability it was happening and how serious it was. It isn't really Sarah's job to blame police, sitting in the investigation room now after recording her boyfriend trapped in a suitcase.
Like, we've been good. I don't know if, like, it's since the last time he got out of jail. Like, we've been good, and he's been having his classes and seeing his probation officer, who's amazing. So...
What do you mean by good? What's your definition of good?
The probation officer?
No, you said you guys have been good. What's your definition?
I've been good. I don't think you all understand. He comes at me all the time. He comes at me. So it's either I flee or try to go upstairs and go to sleep. That's usually what it is. And I don't know if you talked to Brian about any of that, but most of the time when I flee, I go over there. So...
Right, but you're saying that you guys have been good, and when I asked you yesterday, the last incident that you could remember was the curtain rod incident, which you said was a month ago, so...
Give or take.
They've been good. Him coming after her with a shower curtain rod is good. And the recent battery accusations she mentioned, blaming police for not responding, were they also considered casual and good? The detective points out that the scratch on the back of his neck, close to the bottom part of the skull, is unlikely sign of rough sexual play, but rather a sign of abuse. It is not explicit evidence, but it points to the fact that the abuse was coming from both sides, and this was a dysfunctional relationship with double-sided domestic violence.
Right. So what do you mean by he comes after you? Like,
he gets belligerently drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if you all have looked through my phone yet and seen any of the pictures and the videos that I have taken.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, I started documenting everything.
Okay.
So you all will see in my pictures bloody fingers, split foreheads, he split my nose. I've got this.
Right.
I don't know if Brian told you about it, where I had to have almost I had one really bad surgery, but then it got really, 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 really bad, where I had to go like 4 or 5 more times afterwards for them to tend to it, from him poking me in the back of the leg.
Right.
So it's...
Then why are you still with him?
Such relationships as Sarah's and George's are hard to get out of, usually due to one person being controlling, guilt-tripping, victimizing self, and being overly defensive when confronted. You can probably guess who that person was in Sarah's and George's relationship. The following explanation will give us some insight into Sarah's egoistical nature.
Everybody asks me that. When I tell you guys this, I really love him. Like, I do. And I feel like I can help him. Like, I feel like I could help him, which I did, because he came a really long way from where he was in Philadelphia to moving back to here and to dealing with everything else that he's been dealing with. I've really helped him. I've bailed him out of jail, 3 times. I've gone to every single hearing and every single arraignment, everything that I did for him. gone to see all his public defenders, go to the state. I've gone to the state. I did everything for him because I'm trying to help him, because I had hope in him. And he was trying. He was really trying. And then he starts to think about things, and I think he gets overwhelmed, and then it's like, the next thing I know, he's drinking. So it's like, oh man, I know where this is going to go, so I'm going to go upstairs and read a book. Or I'm going to go for a bike ride, or I'm going to do something else. Where I don't want to drink. I don't want to drink. The occasional wine, whatever, or if it's a weekend, that's when you have a good time. You don't have to wake up the next day. I have to wake up the next day and do things. I have to tend to Lucas. I have to take him to school. I have all this stuff to do. He doesn't know how to, I guess, maintain himself, where I can do 50 things at once and still know the 50 things more prior that I need to get done. He can't process like that. He didn't process like that, so he would literally, not literally, but have smoke coming out of his ears. So the next thing you know, he doesn't want to deal with it. I'm going to go get something to drink. So the majority of the time, I would hang out outside or do something else because I don't want to drink. And every time, his job broke his heart. And it made me sad because he had so much pride in his job. And the store that he took care of so much totally went downhill. Mm-hmm. And that broke his heart because he had put so much work and effort into fixing it up. And his manager was awful and basically gave up on all of the employees. So I think that had a huge bearing on why he would drink so much. His ex-wife is bonkers. Mm-hmm. She was all over him all the time. Send me money, send me money, send me money. How can I send you money when I don't have a job? And he's still trying to take care of me and Lucas by paying a bill here or there, getting some groceries. So he always had something on his mind, which is why, again, I got the puzzles and the paint to try to get him off of it so we don't have a drink, or he doesn't have a drink. So when you all see my phone, you can see all of the damage he has done to me and the videos of him smashing my television because he's belligerently drunk. Where most of the time, I just don't want to be there. And I try to help him. I try to calm him down. Eventually, he just passes out.
At this point, we've been through multiple stages of emotions. First off, she claims that she cured her partner's anger issues and alcoholism by using childish activities such as painting and doing puzzles, but the experience was so mentally draining she broke off crying just talking about it. Then she brushed off her own alcoholism and then moved to how damaging the puzzles and painting were, and got more angry about her broken television set than her boyfriend's death. With that being said, we might assume beyond a reasonable doubt that she is being manipulative to gain control over the situation. She fails. The detectives are not buying it.
Well, yesterday it made it sound like you guys were just drinking like a glass or two. Like, yeah, you obviously had the bottle, but you told me on recording, like, that you were not drunk, he was not drunk, you guys were having a good time.
I can't get drunk. Number one, I do not want to get drunk. I don't like being non-complimentous, having my wits about myself. I don't like feeling out of control. Mm-hmm. So
I'm just saying, you're making it sound like he's a raging alcoholic today, and yesterday I was kind of asking you those questions, and you're like a little defensive, like, no, we're not alcoholics.
I'm not.
We are not, you know. But you guys were both sober on Sunday, to your knowledge, because when I said you went and passed out, you were like, no, I didn't pass out, I just fell asleep. So now it's kind of like, what is it? Were you guys drinking and it got out of hand? And
no.
It got physical?
No.
Or is it...
Sunday was one of the better days that we have had in quite some time. He's dancing with my dog. You can see that, too, on the pictures, him loving the dog. He loves the dog and dancing around, having a good time, and just being happy kind of thing.
She completely avoided the question. The detective caught her up on a lie and then followed up with the accusation. Yet for Sarah, the day was still good, the best even, simply because George was dancing with their dog.
He doesn't know. I can get like maybe 2-3 glasses of wine, and I'll be fine. But I have to have my wits about myself because I don't know what to expect.
Well, let's talk about Sunday. What was Sunday? How were you, like, how many glasses of wine did you have? How many glasses of wine did he have? The bottle was gone. I mean, I don't know if you poured any out. Yes.
No, that was from previous.
You said that there was a half bottle left
yeah,
over.
about this much.
And then that you had wine. Well, I don't even know how the wine. How'd you guys get the wine for Sunday?
I'm guessing he went to Publix.
Does he like leave the house and you stay home, or do you go to Publix? Like, because
sometimes I'll go with him.
Okay. Did you go with him Sunday to Publix?
So most of the time, what happens is because the convenience store where we get cigarettes is here, and then Publix literally is cattywampus to it.
Okay.
So what he'll do is he'll go by Publix, and then on the way back catch the convenience store.
Okay. So is that what he did Sunday?
I'm guessing that's what he did.
It is almost ridiculous how she's trying to act oblivious to a simple trip to the store, protesting strongly she could know. She would definitely know if he went to the store, if she just gave a detailed summary of the day, and it's very irrelevant thing to get so defensive about.
Okay. So it's him trying to be nice, so I don't have to go out and do it. Plus there's stuff that are around the house that I had to take care of. So that's usually what will happen. Or I'm folding laundry and he'll go run out and do whatever.
Okay. So where were you guys at on drunkenness, not drunkenness on Sunday? You told us you weren't drunk.
No, I was not drunk.
Right.
I was not drunk. So with him, I don't know. I know when it's like, oh, okay, man, where I have told him, slow down. It's starting to catch up with you. Slow down. Slow down. And another thing, too, is I don't like listening to music with him because he gets too involved in the music, and the music that he listens to is a little rough around the edges, and, like, it makes me fractious listening to his music. So I kept asking him, let's just you and me talk. You and me will just be the ones that are talking, which was fine because, I mean, we were playing with the dog, whatever, and then it's like, okay, now let's do the painting. We just did the puzzle, took a break, now let's do this. Sure enough, sat down, we're sitting in there talking, laughing, talking about new movies, we're watching movie trailers while we're doing painting and all that other stuff. So it's still background noise to him because I think that's what he's used to is having background noise, where me, I can sit in here all day with not a peep. But he always has to have some kind of background noise, which I didn't mind because the trailers were cool. And he was interested in showing them to me, getting excited about movies that were out or upcoming.
Okay.
The movie trailer's story shows directly how oblivious and narrow-minded Sarah is to think this is appropriate to talk about in the situation where the heavy accusations loom over her in the interrogation room. It is like she doesn't realize the seriousness of the present moment.
So on your laptop you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay.
And I mean, and then it was...
But you said it was a good day, like you guys didn't have any conversations about your relationship, you guys didn't go down like the rabbit hole, like had too many to drink, and you guys start getting...
Nope, when I tell you this, it made me so happy that he actually listened to what I had to say with just, we'll get through it. This will be fine. It's a small hurdle that you and I together will get through because...
I'm talking about the money, jobs,
daughters, yes.
Nothing relationship-wise, though. Like, no issues, did you guys have a conversation about your relationship, or was it just about...
Just like what's going on right now.
Got it.
I try to evoke it from him so he gets it off his chest, because I call him the volcano, where eventually he's going to erupt.
Right.
And what he has learned in his classes is to communicate, which is a huge thing in a relationship, where he has been practicing communication. So he actually talks to me about things, and unburdened himself. Put it on me. I'll sit there and try and figure it out for you, like I have almost everything. Not a worry, just tell me, get it out of you.
Right.
But it was, when I tell you, I was so happy. Like, it was such a good day. I kid you not. The weather was beautiful outside. I'm the one that had him go inside so we can do puzzles and painting and listen to music or whatever else he wants to do. So then he starts doing whatever it is we're doing together in the living room, and then starts talking, because I think he gets comfortable with, okay, you know what, we're here, it is a good day. Let me go ahead and explain myself. So I know. Nobody else knows, but I know. Nobody knew George better than I did. I say that I knew George better than himself. And I tried in every way, shape, and form. Ask everyone. I helped him. I took care of him. I missed him a lot, and I didn't even sleep last night. I miss him a lot.
I mean, is there any chance it got to be too much for you and you couldn't handle taking care of him and...
I never stopped.
Trying to...
I never stopped. That's what I'm here for. I never stopped. I'm here now because I'm still trying to help him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Me, myself. Her narcissistic attitude is quite noticeable here. She belittles the situation, disregards her dead boyfriend, and focuses entirely on herself.
We just don't, I mean, it's unexplainable how he got these injuries, and...
I have no idea.
You were the only one with him.
100% right hand to God. I have no idea how he got them. Nobody touched anybody. Nobody touched anybody.
Okay.
She might appear devastated, yet it'll take literally 2 seconds for her to turn crying, heartbroken Sarah into a martyr that has tried everything to save her partner's life.
You had mentioned that you would take photos, videos, kind of like a proof and just in general.
Yeah, I started documenting at one point, but that was way before, I think, the last time that he got arrested, where he was flying off the deep end.
Okay.
But then I had him bailed out. I got him out of jail.
Right.
But because he had violated the pretrial diversion, this time it's probation, so you don't have a choice in it. You have to go to see your probation officer. You have to go to these classes. It's court-ordered. Where it took him a while to get used to it and understand, they're not messing around. I even went down and met his probation officer, which I say, she's wonderful. That's one of my questions too I need to talk to you about. Hugged me and said how much she knows that I take care of him. She called me personally one time when George was at work, when he was working. 42-minute phone call. She and I just saying how grateful she is that George has me. And she knows how hard I'm working to help him, just as she is and just as the classes will. So once he started actually going on a regular basis to the probation officer, and then to his substance abuse class and his, I don't know what BIP stands for, Batterers Intervention Program, and actually listening to what it is everyone had to say, he changed. Like I could see a change in him, where before lashing out, he would think about it. And would always come home and show me his papers, and we would look over his papers together, where it's like, wow, you actually are learning this in class? And some of the stuff that they would show them, like videos, he would come home and be like, Sarah, I'm so sorry for what I've done to you. Because for a video that he watches to make him feel that way, where it's like, oh man, I have done her wrong. But he's changed. He changed.
We are approaching another mood swing very soon. Please prepare for any turbulence.
And that's why you're still with him, even though he's done all these things to you. And
when I tell you I love him, I love him.
Even when you love somebody, you have limits.
Everybody tells me that. All my neighbors still tell me that. The office, property manager.
At some point, somebody gets enough then they have to do something to defend themselves.
I would just flee, and I don't know if you would like to see it on my phone, or I think it's actually on a laptop. I actually, because, and you have to understand too, I have, like, prior to classes in PO, kicked him out. How many times? I had him arrested. How many times?
But you also went down and bailed him out.
I know.
The next day.
I know.
What's on your laptop?
The swift change of the subject cuts off her story and catches her off guard. She needs few seconds to think.
What was I going to tell you? Oh, previously, I actually looked up how to file a restraining order.
Okay.
Because I would take him out, his parents, because of them constantly having to take him back in, his bags of clothes, all his stuff. The last time, the father came out and irate and just not even, I don't even know if he knew Lucas was in the car, just opened the back of my car and just started throwing all his crap in, just throwing it, like the car would jostle, he was throwing all his stuff. At that point, because I continually did it, not continually, I think I maybe did it 3 times, and he has nowhere else to go, they got fed up and said, nope, either you're staying there or you're staying here. But if you're staying here at their place, it's permanent. You're not going back over there anymore. So what happens is, he pursues me. So, I don't know if y'all know where Katie Way Trail is. Okay, so it's literally right there from our apartment.
What does she have to do, though, with anything about what happened Sunday and into Monday?
No, I'm just saying, like, previously, why the incidents would happen is she plays a big part in it.
Okay.
On top of job and money and groceries and all that.
Okay.
Sunday, when I tell you this, I have no idea. I have no idea.
Is there anybody else at the house?
Nope, it's just me and him.
Since talking yesterday, do you remember any, like, timelines better? Like, what time you guys were playing, what time he was zipped up in the luggage, what time you went upstairs?
We started because we cleaned the house a little bit, did some laundry.
You started the activities around 4, you said?
Yes, around 4:30ish, and then...
You just said that it was dark when you were playing hide and seek, and I'm just curious if you remember...
But when we were outside, that's where we would start, and talk about things, and then eventually I was the one that had him come inside, so we could...
About what time, do you remember what time that was, is what she's asking.
And you said you went up to bed around midnight, fell asleep around 12:30ish, but those were the only times I have. So I have 4 and I have midnight, so there's a big gap. So I'm just curious, like, if you recall when you went upstairs to hide in the shower, or...
Like when we started to play hide and seek?
Yeah.
Well, we went inside probably about, if I had to guess, we weren't out there too long, maybe about 6-ish. Then...
You're talking about from hanging out outside and, like... Okay.
Well, we have 2 beach chairs that are out there and just enjoy the weather.
Gotcha.
Plus it's starting to get dark and gnats and mosquitoes.
Yeah.
So, let's go inside. I don't want to be out here anymore.
Okay.
All right, let's go. So we're doing whatever. We did it for a while because that puzzle, I don't know if they took it or they saw it. Worked on the puzzle again, finished it. Started to paint. Well, started to listen to music for a little bit. Started to paint. Can we turn the music off? No problem. Start at the top, paint, whatever. Maybe, gosh, that puzzle, we worked on that for probably a good hour and a half. So 8 o'clock-ish?
Is when you went to hide upstairs originally?
No, that's when we were, like, painting. So then it's like, okay, well, I don't want to paint anymore. Let's just, come on. Okay, you want to play hide and seek? What he does is, okay, tag, you're it. So it's like, okay, we know. Okay, take off. That's what we did.
And then you went upstairs, and then he didn't come up, and you came down, and the suitcase was there originally because you guys were planning to do donations, so it was already there. Have you guys ever played you said you played hide and seek like probably 3 times in your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
When you have played, have you ever zipped him up in a suitcase prior?
No.
Okay. So it was just kind of like that prop was there, and it was there,
Yes.
and it was in play because...
Why do you say it like that, though?
I would never do that.
You would never zip them up in a suitcase?
Well, I mean,
we were playing.
No, I know,
that
but
time,
I'm talking about hide and seek, which is a game, so...
The suitcase originally is in our closet, buried all the way to the back. If you, I know the CSI people saw our closet. Our closet needs to be cleaned out really bad.
She is commenting on the state of her messy closet, not making any connections to the reason of why her boyfriend is dead, without any guilt, terror, or sadness, just a casual small talk about a messy space. She is more worried about the CAI people coming in and discovering the mess.
And just leave the whole thing by the clothing and shoe thing at my son's school.
Gotcha. No, I'm just asking, in the past, like, have you ever zipped him up in anything, jokingly or not, but obviously
No.
I understand, you know, you're claiming that Sunday it was a joking matter, you were laughing, he was laughing, but what I'm just asking is in the past, like, is it something that you guys normally do?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
We were actually this last game running out of places to hide because we have a townhome where it's upstairs or downstairs. So.
Okay, so do you remember making any videos or maybe having any photos, videos that you remember doing on your phone on Sunday?
No.
No?
I think I took a picture of a dog.
Okay.
Bruh.
But your phone is password protected, you have the password, he has the facial recognition, so it's not like someone else could be on your phone.
No, I have both.
Yes, we're talking about how many functions does your phone have.
Does he have access to your phone? Because you said it's a
Yeah.
shared phone. Okay, how does he have access?
Sarah, can I borrow your phone? Yeah, it's right there on the kitchen counter.
Okay, but how does he get
it?
into it because it's password protected?
So he'll come and get it to me and I'll just do the face thing. Where sometimes too, like look, he'll joke with me and say, okay, I need to borrow your phone. And he'll hold it while I'm cooking or doing something, do the facial recognition.
Sarah does what she can to seal herself off from the accusations. Therefore, the detectives will present to her the video evidence. She will watch the recording of her boyfriend trapped in the suitcase, and her reaction itself will be the evidence per se. If she truly had no idea what happened on Sunday night and what was recorded on her phone, she would likely be visibly distressed, as it would concern her dead partner, whose death she does not remember, yet she seems anxious only because she's about to see something which clearly undermines her story of the convenient amnesia.
Okay. So I have something that I want to show you that we found, and it was from your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see it?
If you need to move it around, go ahead.
No, I don't remember that.
For everything you've done to me. For everything you've done to me.
Your battery's about to die.
Shut it down.
Oh, okay.
This is her reaction to hearing the distressed voice of her loved one clearly suffering. Just a regular answer, I don't remember that. And then a little comment about the battery being low on the computer. She shows no empathy whatsoever.
Let me just grab something.
All right.
The female detective leaves the room to grab a charger, and Sarah is left with Detective Scott Lowen, who will use this time to explore further into her narcissistic nature.
No, I was just simply asking because you had a look on your face when she asked you if you've ever done that before. You looked kind of shocked and...
No.
Okay, but why did you say it like that? Like
I don't think you all understand who I am, where...
Okay. Well, tell me.
I mean, I've always been a straight-A student. I am an outstanding mother to my son.
Okay.
I excel at everything. I would not do that.
All those opinions are subjective, and all those opinions about Sarah Boone come from Sarah Boone. Not to mention, they do not have any connections whatsoever to the crime she's accused of. Imagine if being a good mother was equivalent to being innocent. That would free the world from so many problems.
You wouldn't lock somebody in a suitcase?
Well, I didn't, completely lock it. I mean, I opened it with one finger. I left enough in there for him to get out.
Okay.
And I wasn't planning on going upstairs and going to sleep.
Okay.
The pressure works, Sarah admits to the first thing tonight. Regardless of what was she planning to do, she just admitted she left him enough space to get out, which means she purposefully got him in there and planned this in advance. She realizes too late that she incriminated herself.
No, it's just the way you said it.
You guys are scaring me.
Why?
Well, we just want you to watch this. This came from your phone. Don't you want to know what's on it?
Yes, please. Is it long? Because I don't know how much I can take.
No.
Do I have to watch this? I continuously throw up. I don't sleep. I don't want to see it, if that's okay.
Well, it's on your phone, and you can either explain it or we take it for what it is.
Yeah. We're just trying to give you the opportunity to tell us what's going on. That's it.
It's that long?
2 minutes.
No.
For everything you've done to me. For everything you've done to me. Fuck you.
And this
Fuck
is,
you.
that's you, your voice.
Stupid. Sarah. That's my name. Don't wear it up. I can't fucking breathe it. Sarah. Yeah, that's when you do when you choke me. Sarah.
I don't want to watch it, please. Okay.
She is most likely uncomfortable watching a human begging for his life, yet still refuses to comprehend that she is responsible for this tragedy. The detectives will make her understand her contribution, using a step-by-step logical explanation. She won't be able to play dumb anymore.
Last time we talked to you, you had said that you put him in the suitcase, he had 2 fingers hanging out. And
I flipped him over. I flipped him over, and that's where it was.
There's 2 different videos and a still picture where, yeah, it shows you flipping him in different positions and him saying that he can't breathe and you saying fuck you.
So this is upside down. So in order for him to have gotten into it,
it was flipped up.
Right. It was flipped up normal.
Yes.
Like as if you're packing something. So this is upside down.
Guys, this is killing me right now.
So this image is upside down, and then this small video that occurred 11 minutes later, it's flipped over the other way, closer to your dining room table.
Okay.
Now he's obviously still in there. So he didn't, how did it go from the back to the front?
I flipped it.
Okay.
My plan was not to go upstairs and go to sleep.
Well, that's what you did.
Yeah.
But not intentional.
No, you told me you went upstairs because you were getting ready for bed.
Stopped here.
Okay, but
Where's here?
show me where you can see any fingers coming out, because there's the end.
And his head's right here.
Mm-hmm.
So going like this, rather than going all the way up, it's like this.
But why is he saying I can't breathe, and why is he pushing on it as if he can't get out?
And it doesn't show a hole.
There's no hole. There's no fingers. I don't see his fingers. There's no hole.
I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like, I don't know, like, what you want me to tell you.
She clearly never thought she would be accused of something, as everything she's acted out in front of the detectives was fruitless.
I'm just telling you what we see and what we've heard from the other video.
I understand.
He's begging for you to let him out. You're laughing in the beginning, and then in the end it sounds kind of like a...
No, it's not malicious.
Well, saying fuck you...
It's not malicious.
Then what is that?
What does fuck you mean to you?
Well...
Like if I were to tell my
like he does. Like, I get called everything but a white woman, so...
Okay.
My intention was not to leave him in there. Please understand that. My intention was not to leave him in there.
But you went upstairs thinking that he could get himself out, but the video shows
That's why I told you.
and I see his fingers.
He'll be up here any minute.
And then 30 minutes later, he didn't show.
And he's telling you
and I
he
didn't
can't
wake
breathe.
up.
Do you think
not
he's
able to get
joking? You told me he was laughing, and
We were before.
The video, there's no
When we first got in there, both of us were.
So how long was he in there for? Like, this video is at 11:12 when it starts, so was he in there for like a long time prior to you recording this?
No.
So it goes from funny to no longer funny,
but
you're the only one laughing.
But I didn't think that he was, like, panicky. Like,
So pushing up on a suitcase saying, Sarah, 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 I can't breathe.
George has done that in the past before, too, where it's just like he thinks that he's woe is me kind of thing, where it's like,
he's never been locked in a suitcase, that's why he couldn't get out. So
it's kind of, I thought it was the boy crying wolf kind of thing.
Okay.
And again, my plan.
But nowhere in there is he laughing, is he joking. He is begging. And you're the only one laughing.
Okay.
And you're the only one saying derogatory.
What the investigator is saying here is that even if Sarah had good reasons to initially disregard George's words, the crying wolf scenario does not apply after 20 to 30 minutes of continuous torture, when a person inside is loudly begging to be let out. There is nothing more that George could have done to let Sarah know he is not joking. He stated clearly he is in danger, and she consciously ignored him. Sarah knows this. Her defense is to accuse detectives of forcing confession and then get sassy with them.
Comments. Like you're mad.
No. Please don't, I don't mean to sound negative, and I don't know if I can say this, but like it's like you guys are kind of trying to like feed me. Like,
no, I'm just trying to show you a video that you no longer want to watch because you probably don't want to know the outcome of how and what you said.
Well, I know what...
You know what's on that video now?
No.
You remember making that video?
No.
Why don't you remember making the video?
Probably because we had been drinking.
But you weren't drunk.
No. Just because I went upstairs and...
Stop right there, criminal scum!
Because you're drunk doesn't mean that you...
times that you were not drunk. You said that you had your wits about you. You said he had his wits about you.
Mm-hmm.
You said that you don't like not having your wits. In my experience, if somebody cannot remember doing something to the extent of making 2 videos and taking a photo, they are intoxicated.
Okay. I understand where you all are coming from.
Well, we're just trying to make sense of it. We're trying to figure out what you're saying.
We're trying to figure out this video.
You explain it to us. We're listening.
I just did. Like, we were playing, and then, like, I thought it was... My plan was not to go upstairs and go to sleep. My plan was not to... He'll be up here any minute.
But you willingly went upstairs and went to sleep. No one forced you to go upstairs and get
My
ready
plan
for
wasn't
bed.
also to leave him in the suitcase.
So why didn't you take him out?
Because I went upstairs, and then I fell asleep.
But why didn't you consciously think, he's asking to come out,
I didn't do it intentionally.
What do you think is going to happen if you leave somebody in a confined space like that?
Well, I thought by not zipping it up all the way, it would be okay. My plan was not to leave him in the suitcase.
And what was your plan?
Waiting for him to come upstairs.
And then when he did it?
I fell asleep.
You said you were up there 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, somebody not coming up.
Knowing that the last time you saw him was in the suitcase, 30 minutes later, you're like, maybe I should go check on him? Maybe I shouldn't?
No.
That didn't cross your mind because it didn't happen.
That's like an assumption. Like, that's what you all are thinking. Just...
We're asking.
It's the whole...
You tell us.
It's the drinking.
She's all up in arms, ready to be triggered over a logical assumption presented by the female detective. If George wasn't coming after 30 minutes of waiting, why didn't you go check on him? This is clearly a malicious intent. Once she realized the detectives aren't playing along to her story, after a solid 10 seconds of intensive thinking, she blames drinking. I didn't do it, but if I did, it's because I drank too much. But I don't drink, by the way. This is the third version of the story. The first, in summary, was about Sarah not having anything to do with George's death, as she shielded him from dangers of life. The second was a planned idea of playing hide-and-seek. The rule was to leave 2 fingers wide hole on the broken suitcase zipper. The third is that she doesn't remember any of it.
That's what it is. It's the drinking. I thought it was, like, I thought he was okay. Like, I didn't, that, you
He's
all...
telling you he's not. He's telling you, Sarah, I can't breathe. He's saying your name and you're like, that's my name, don't wear it out.
Guys, that's how we are with each other. Like, nobody understands our relationship. This whole suitcase thing never happened before.
It obviously never happened before. George only died once. As the police station is not the marriage counseling office, the detectives disregard that, and before she delves into another story about how good relationship it was, the detective executes the personal argument.
Would you leave someone else in a suitcase? Would you leave Lucas in a suitcase jokingly? Because it was a joking matter. You put him in there jokingly. Would you leave Lucas jokingly in there? And you love Lucas, right? And you love
I wouldn't
George.
do that to him either. I wouldn't do that to him.
So, I just...
How would you react to such accusation? Probably like this. What do you mean? What he has to do with it? I would never harm my son. Meanwhile, Sarah skips the question about whether or not she loves her son. She doesn't even use his name. She's just saying she wouldn't do that to him. And by that, she means lock him up inside a suitcase.
Well, it's not like, again, I don't think you all understand. Like, it's...
The detectives understand well enough that they ask this question.
What would you say if somebody told you that they had done this?
Done what?
Zipped somebody in a suitcase and went up and went to bed.
Do you all not think... So you all think that it's like, oh, good, I got him in there, now I'm going to go to sleep? Is that what you guys are trying to assume?
This is not an assumption anymore, but a lead. The detectives got a solid motive: the unstable, abusive relationship, in which alcoholism and narcissism made Sarah think that George was cheating on her. Sarah decided to play a game, one of many, such as doing drawings and puzzles. As children's games are easy to win and usually have no real-life consequences, she knew she has an advantage over George. The detectives are left to uncover whether Sarah didn't stop because of intoxication or because of her horrific personality, and the solid evidence supporting the latter is on her phone.
The video is very portraying of the opposite of what you told us.
No.
It is not leading up, it is not matching what statement you gave us in the car.
So,
and that's why we want to know.
And I don't remember doing those.
The injuries are not consistent with what you told us. So we have a lot of inconsistencies, and this video explains itself. It really, truly does.
You don't think that I have thought about that?
Thought about the video or thought about...
But no, again, if you don't mind, please. So you all are assuming that it's like, oh, good, I got him in there, now I'm going to go to sleep? Is that what you all are assuming?
Well, it's not an assumption when that's what you told us, so that happened.
That's what happened.
My intention is not for this to happen. I am sick about it. I've never done anything like this before in the past. I am sick. Especially with that. I thought I couldn't sleep last night. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing.
Maybe, if not for the video. The video is sadistic and horrific.
You tell us the last night, you vividly remember this when you told us last night, that he was laughing, you were laughing, you put him in the suitcase, he has 2 fingers sticking out, and you go to bed. Now we see something totally different, and it actually shows you upset and, again, using derogatory terms to him when he's begging for his life to get out of that suitcase.
So
what
my thing
you
is
say we're assuming, we're not assuming,
but
we're
the
telling
finger,
you what's on there.
so it just happened to be that whenever I was videotaping or doing whatever else it was, just happened to not have that in it.
Okay. And you also, in the video, you can't see any holes. There's nowhere in that where the zipper separates and you can see a hole. If there's a hole, he's pushing on it, begging you to get out. We should probably see that hole.
He essentially would have been able to get out.
Huh.
Alcohol.
Based off what you're telling us, he should have been able to get out.
Okay.
But the video shows him attempting to get out, begging to get out, and he can't. So that's just what we're trying to figure out. I don't know if maybe you had too much to drink, you zipped it up all the way, and then, you know...
I did not zip it up all the way.
Okay, well...
I did not zip it up all the way.
The question here is, did you kill your boyfriend? That's what zipping it all the way means. Yet Sarah takes it literally and protests about this little thing. She claims that a small hole between the zipper slider and the zipper teeth is enough for a man struggling for air to get out. If a fabric piece got stuck between the twisted zipper teeth, or worse, a finger, it would be near impossible to get out without a sharp tool to cut the suitcase open. The mystery of opening the suitcase overwhelms Sarah. Her defense is now to act hurt and disappointed that the detectives dare to present logical evidence.
This is horrific, okay? Horrific.
It is terrible.
Yeah, so
horrific. I don't think I'll ever be right because of this. Ever be right. Dealing with everything else that I have in my life, personally. And then this, whom I loved, it was not intentional. I will put my hand on the Bible. It was not intentional. I would not do that to him nor anyone else.
But you did.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
Not intentional.
You intentionally went up to bed.
I didn't intentionally go to bed because I'm thinking, okay, good, he can get out.
How did you not intentionally go to bed? You said you went upstairs and got into bed. That's intentionally going to bed.
Waiting for him.
And he doesn't come, but you don't go down to check on him.
So I happen to go to sleep. When I say go to sleep,
and what do you normally do when you go to bed? What do you normally do when you go to bed?
What do you mean?
What is a bed for? Going to sleep.
Right.
So you go to bed to do what?
But obviously you can tell too that, like, I've been drinking also.
You go to bed to do what? Okay. You kept telling us, hey, I wasn't intoxicated. I wasn't this. I wasn't that.
Being drunk and intoxicated, which, yes, you can tell that I had been drinking, but...
Okay. So if you weren't intoxicated, then why would you ever leave somebody in a suitcase that's begging to get out, that's telling you they can't breathe?
If I hadn't been drinking, you still think it would be the same thing? Where it's like, hop in, I'm going to go to sleep.
Even if we removed the intoxication layer from the whole incident, we still have a lot of incriminating evidence. The female officer decides it's time to add more pressure, or at least try to humble Sarah down a little bit. She plays the video again. Notice how Sarah is ignoring it. She does not pay any attention to her boyfriend crying out her name. She was intoxicated before, but now she's sober, and she is still not reacting.
Is that what you all are trying to do? To portray me as?
We're not trying to do anything. I'm simply asking you to explain to me what happened.
Everything was fine and dandy.
I don't want to call it fine and dandy.
Was fine and dandy.
Explain
You
to
all
me how.
don't, okay, for me to tell you this, again, mind you, I've been without him for a day now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I mean, I don't know what you all want me to tell you, because this was not in any way, shape, or form, hand on the Bible, intentional.
Okay. So you just
I
left him there
didn't
to
kill
teach
him.
You got up and walked away. How is that not intentionally leaving him there?
Because I'm looking at the hole, knowing that it's there. He'll get out no problem. Because you don't.
And then he doesn't. But you don't go check on him. You say you're up for 30 minutes and he doesn't come up. You don't go down and check on him?
I'm in the bed.
You even move.
And dozed off.
You admit to moving the suitcase over. So
you roll it.
You roll it over. Like, it's not like.
I didn't want it to be like that. Don't.
You didn't want him to be upside down. How do you even get upside down?
Right. You guys are killing me right now.
What's your reasoning for not calling 911 sooner?
Because I didn't know what to do and how horrific it was. I called Brian, and 5 minutes later I called you guys? Not even 5 minutes. Nonetheless, that I had to I was trying to do CPR. I had to get him out and try to do CPR and then call you guys. And then was continually doing CPR with the dispatch on the phone, where he had me count out loud.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
She says it like it justifies the whole situation. I was trying to perform CPR after 11 hours. I must be free of criminal charges.
It just... I don't know how... I mean, you can sit here all day long and say, I thought he was going to get himself out, but he didn't. And you went upstairs, and you stayed there for 30 minutes before you fell asleep.
But can I say, too,
you chose not to ever at any point during that 30 minutes walk back down and check on him.
No, wait 1 second. Because I know, with you all, and then, because you continually ask me, time frames, where I told you, I don't bother even looking at the clock most of the time. So it's a guesstimate. So for all I know, maybe it was 10 minutes.
Okay. But the point is, you left the living room where he was begging for help and went upstairs. Regardless of how long you were there, you left. You say,
I thought he was the boy calling wolf. Again.
Okay.
So when he asked to be let out, what's your reasoning for not letting him out?
When I was upstairs?
No, when he's asking on the video. He asked multiple times. He asked to be let out. I can't breathe. Why didn't you let him out?
Well, number one, I had no idea it was going to end like that.
Okay.
Number one.
Okay.
Number two, just, you know what? I'll give you 5 minutes or so in there. They'll give you 5 minutes or so.
5 minutes for what?
Well, based off the video, one video is at 11:12 and the next one's at 11:23, so you actually gave him at least 11 minutes per video recording. So my thing is, when it stopped, he asked multiple times, I mean, why? Why did you not let him out? It's just a simple question.
To be honest with you, I don't know.
Were you punishing him?
No. Just...
Well, that's what you're saying in the video.
This is what you get. This is what you make me feel like.
See, and then it's all backfired on me. It's all backfired on me. And I understand the severity of this.
Yeah, he's dead.
It's awful, I know.
Okay.
It's awful. And I will tell you both this right now, too. I will never drink alcohol again.
Okay.
Like, I will never drink alcohol again. I don't care what it is in any way, shape, or form.
What a self-sacrifice. Her rejection of the foul substance must point out to her innocence and deep understanding of her own guilt. The detectives are not having any of this.
But let's get back to this. What was the reason for leaving him when he's begging to be let out? I don't understand that.
What I have a feeling was, and again, it's the whole time frame thing. I'm
not asking a time frame. I don't care about a time frame. He's in the bag saying, my God. And you say, fuck you.
For the whole few minutes that he was in there,
Minimum 11, but yes, go ahead. It's a few. 11, minimum.
For one video.
Well, in between the two videos.
Between the two
minutes.
videos? Okay.
Yeah.
So what was the question again?
When he's begging for his life, telling you he can't breathe, let me out, and you say, fuck you, why don't you just let him out? What are you trying to prove to him?
She does not have any answer, because there are none.
There was obviously something in your head that you were thinking of when he was asking to be let out, and you're like,
again, it's the boy calling wolf.
Okay, but where does this game end? You say this is a game, you got somebody in there.
Obviously, the wrong way.
So what was your intention for leaving him in there?
And it's not fair. It is not fair. You guys are trying to, again, he's in there. Night, night.
That's what happened. He's got a bump on the back of his head, a bump on the front of his head, and his lip is busted. And he has a bump on his eye.
I don't know what you all want me to tell you. This is not fair at all.
Yes.
That you all are assuming that that's from me.
Where else did it come from?
If you were, say it's opposite, you were in the suitcase and you're asking to be let out, would you hope that that person would let you out? You're asking to be let out of a suitcase, should they not let you out?
Eventually. I'm guessing. I don't...
The simple answer Sarah is looking for here is yes, obviously. If I was left suffocating in a zipped suitcase, I would very much like to be let out, especially if the opposite result is my own death.
So you guys are assuming that...
You keep saying we're assuming, or we haven't assumed anything.
But you guys are assuming that that's what I did.
No. The facts of what happened. We got there, you said you pulled him out of a suitcase, you said you went up, you went to bed. We're not assuming that. These are the facts that you're telling us.
But now what you said is I'm tired. Oh, I'm tired.
Well, that's what you told me on a sworn recorded statement yesterday. Because when I said, you went upstairs and passed out, you were like, no, I did not pass out. You got attitude with me because you were thought I was assuming that you were drunk. So that's an assumption. That was an assumption when I said you passed out. And guess what? You corrected me.
There's two empty bottles of wine.
No, but we didn't drink both of them.
I think you did.
We didn't.
There's receipts for the statement.
They were both purchased yesterday, so I don't know how you didn't, because they weren't there the day before.
So one was.
Two Publix receipts from yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing purchased on either one was a single bottle of wine, 2 of them. So we have each bottle of wine that was empty in your garbage can that you purchased yesterday, or he purchased, but you two would have consumed together.
Okay, well,
there's receipts, so it's not even worth the going back.
So it's not fair that you guys keep trying to say that that's what I did.
I don't know what to tell you.
You told us that. You didn't go upstairs?
Again, there was a hole in a suitcase. I unzipped it from the hole with one finger.
Well, the damn hole didn't do him no good, did it?
But he could push it open.
No, he couldn't. The video shows him pushing up. If he could push it open, why wouldn't he have gotten out himself? Why would he beg you to open it?
Okay. I tell you he can't breathe.
Okay.
If someone can do something for themselves, they're going to do it. They don't need assistance unless they need assistance.
So, but why would he start doing it?
Because he couldn't, because it was all the way zipped.
Because I don't remember that.
Okay. Doesn't mean it didn't happen just because you don't remember it. I have one last question. You realize you're the person that killed him, right?
I thought about that.
Okay, you left him in the bag when he's begging you, saying, I can't breathe, let me out, and you said, fuck you. And you got up off the couch and went upstairs and left him in that bag.
Not intentionally.
Again,
I would never do that to George.
you did.
Not
It happened.
intentionally. Know that.
I don't.
Know that.
You got up and you went up to bed.
Alcohol is a shitty thing. It's alcohol.
So
Not,
alcohol
again,
is the reason that you killed him?
you all,
Please sit down.
listen to me.
Please sit down.
You all, listen. I did not intentionally kill him.
So your intention.
I don't know what it is I need to
punish
do
him?
or how to do it or what to say or how to say it.
But what was your intention?
Everyone
To punish
knows.
him?
Everyone knows everything that I've done for George and love him and continuously helped him throughout his life with me. I swear I did not lay a hand on him.
Okay. You just zipped them in the bag.
Nor he.
You just zipped them in the bag. And then you flipped the bag around several times.
I didn't do that intentionally.
You didn't intentionally flip the bag around?
No. Why would I do that?
Well, you
Good
told us
question.
you
You
did.
did.
When he was upside down.
Right.
Well, you had to put him upside down.
You can't get in a suitcase upside down
Yeah.
because the
Oh my
When
gosh.
you put the
See,
stuff
and that's the
in where his
unfortunate
body was,
That's the unfortunate thing
was upside
too, is
down.
nobody else was there. That's the
We have a
unfortunate
video
thing.
showing the suitcase in several different positions. So it shows, one, like she just said, it had to been on its back with the lid open for him to get in there, for you to zip it up. Then it shows it on the other side with him in it, so you had to flip it to there. Then there's another video where it's on his back again, so you had to flip it to
I'm
there.
leaving it like this, please. I'm leaving it like this. I did not intentionally do this. No malicious content or effort was towards this. No malicious.
I would
I'm
say
the point of
does
the
that
video.
help you sleep, but you're not sleeping, so.
I mean,
Oh, I never said that I was drunk.
Exactly, but you did here today. That's okay.
you said earlier,
Everything recorded.
Alcohol.
you blamed it on the alcohol.
You blamed it on the alcohol. Alcohol does a lot to people.
Yes, but I never said I was drunk.
Okay.
You did.
So you did this sober. You knowingly left him down there sober.
I have already told both of you also that we were both drinking.
Right.
Okay.
But you want to admit that you were drunk? Is that?
I'm telling you all both. This has changed my life.
I had several people that came up to me in that apartment complex said that you were drunk on a daily basis. And
Oh
you were
my
screaming at
gosh.
him
Right,
regularly.
right.
Really?
Right. Talk to the property
Really?
manager. Talk to the property manager.
Okay.
Because it's not,
These are your neighbors, the one that live next to you. Your property manager does not live next to you. They see you every day. How
Oh
many?
my
You had two neighbors you
gosh.
went to and asked to go
See,
use the
that is
restroom.
just
and
not
you said no.
fair.
Hold on. You had two different neighbors that lived directly next to you. You asked to use the restroom, and they told you no and turned you away. You had to go across the way to somebody else.
no, okay. Kim and Kim is not a nice person.
Okay.
She's just automatically not nice. Even after me and Lucas went over there and introduced ourselves, she's just not a nice person.
Then why would you think she would let you use a restroom?
Because Eli was in there. And nonetheless, what you really want to know, and I hope it doesn't get them in trouble, but he is over here illegally. So he's trying to work on getting his green card.
What does that got to do with you using the restroom?
Blaming the neighbors didn't work. Sarah proceeds to deliver a speech consisting of all the questions she had prepared for the detectives. She still thinks she's in control. This is rather amusing to watch.
So, am I getting my phone back?
No.
Not today.
What about Lucas's laptop?
No.
Not today.
Not today.
What does that mean?
We're still going through everything.
Oh, that's fine.
You're the one just telling us there's videos that we need to see on it, so we need
That's
to do
fine.
our due diligence that we go through everything.
See, and that backfires on me now, too, because now you all think that I had even more, in quotes, intent to do what I did to him, which was not intentional. So, I don't know if you all know how to do this because so that's what I was going to get ready to ask you. So are you all updating his parents today or when you get final whatevers?
What does it matter? What we tell his parents? What do you mean?
Because
A person that is truly mournful and devastated by their partner's death would simply say, "Because I love him and want the best for his family." Meanwhile, Sarah asks this question because...
how do I go about getting his wedding ring, engagement ring?
It's at the medical examiner's office. It'll come to us eventually, and then
it'll be released to the next of kin.
Yeah. Okay.
I bought it for him.
Okay. That is a civil issue. It was on his finger. It goes to them. They're the ones that are going to release it. We don't have any say in that.
So I won't get that back.
She still has the audacity to correct and order the detectives around.
I mean, you want me to tell you how to not be accused of a crime? Is that what you're asking? Like, I don't know what you want.
I'm trying to prepare myself for whatever may need to be done so I can, I guess, stick up for myself.
I mean, I think you're doing just fine.
So,
parents that are dealing with
can I call you the way that I did last time?
Yeah, my phone is an open line. Missy should be here. I don't know what's taking so long.
I get it. Look, I get it. That looks really bad. So that's what scares me. Like, what do I need to plan on? Like, what do I need to plan on? I promise you, on my son's life, it was not intentional. I promise you, on Lucas's life, it was not intentional.
I don't know you. I can't say I know anything about you. I don't know what would be a true statement, what would not. I mean, you're promising on your son's life, that's fine.
That's how much it means.
Sorry.
That's how much it, look, that's how much it means.
Okay.
I hope you take that to heart. Please.
And it's documented that you said that, yeah. I get it.
Do you have any idea when I can get my phone back?
No telling.
What did you say?
I just said no telling. I mean, our digital forensics unit is got a lot of cases on their plate. I mean.
Well, and that's not technically my laptop. It's Lucas's laptop. Okay. But he plays. You'll see all the games that he has on there.
As soon as we can get that back to Lucas, we will. As soon as we can release your phone, we will. But we have no way of being able to tell you because we don't have control over their caseload and how they arrange what they do. So I don't know. And at this point, I think, honestly, with everything else that's going on, that should probably be at the bottom of your list of worries.
I'm trying to make Lucas happy so he can have his laptop back.
Okay.
She demands her laptop back, probably to scan it for any incriminating evidence, as she doesn't trust the detectives anymore.
Did Brian not have a laptop for him?
He has his laptop that he has to do for work, but he doesn't want him using it or breaking or dropping. It's not a big deal. There's nothing on the laptop anyway. So you will keep me posted, like updated.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing, is I'm trying to figure out what I need to do in the meantime.
No planning is needed if she is innocent of the crime.
Like, we told you everything that we have. You know everything that we know. And most of it we got from you.
But that like I was telling her, like, yeah, that's bad. Like, which I swore on my son's life was not intentional. So that's why I'm trying to figure out what I need to do for myself going forward with this, nonetheless, with his family. And are you all just showing up with Lucas in the house?
She is telling the detectives that them coming back to her house is inconvenient, and she would like not to do it. She uses the convenient excuse of her child to make that argument.
Are you trying to make it worse?
Sorry, what?
Are you trying to make it worse?
Make what worse?
How I feel?
Just making a comment. I mean,
CSI, that was there yesterday. I think she took your photos. So I'm just going to take a swab and go around on one hand and then do a separate one for your other hand. Okay? We're going to talk a little bit. Thank you. Okay, I'm done with all these. Okay, Sarah. So, you're not free to go. Okay. Do you promise and swear that everything we talked about today has been true and accurate to the best of your knowledge?
For which
True
everything?
and accurate to the best of your knowledge.
What, that it wasn't intentional?
Everything you've said
told
today, everything that's come out of your mouth has been true and accurate to the best of your knowledge.
To the best of my knowledge.
Correct. Yes.
Why?
Because
That's how
anytime
you
we talk to
swear.
somebody, we want to assure that everything that we talked about is
True and accurate to the best of that person's knowledge.
It's not a trick question.
To the best of my knowledge?
To the best of your knowledge.
Everything that you've told us today is true and accurate to the best of your knowledge.
Yes, but it was not intentional.
Okay. Okay.
All right, do me a favor, stand up. I need you to turn around, face the wall. Put your hands behind your back. Do you have anything in your pockets that I should know about?
No.
Okay.
Why is this happening?
Because George is dead.
Not intentionally.
We understand that.
He's still dead.
Well, we don't
Someone
really
needs to
understand
call
that.
Brian, please.
Okay.
Or can I not make a phone call?
You'll be able to make a phone call when we get you down to the jail.
So
You'll
why
be
is this
afforded.
happening? So this was a trick.
No, it's not
No,
a trick.
not
How's
a
this a
trick.
trick? I'm in here to ask you to explain a few things to us, and
You were read your rights.
your response to everything was basically, I didn't do it.
Intentionally.
I have to go through that.
Doesn't matter. He's still dead. Do me a favor. Have a seat.
Really, guys?
Really. Okay.
Lucas is waiting for Mom to come home. This was not my intention. I thought I was waiting for you all to come and figure out what's what and how many.
That's what we're trying to do.
And I was going to be able to go home and see Lucas. Now he's just not going to have me come home. So there's nothing that I can do.
All right, no.
There's nothing that I can do in order to go home and see Lucas and prepare.
Not right now, no.
I had a
don't
sneaky
work in
suspicion
the...
this was going to happen. And I need water, like, really bad, please.
Have a seat.
You all check me down here.
Absolutely did not.
I just got those.
Okay. They are not allowed in the jail.
So I can't even smoke cigarettes as I go.
What? Am I good on that? She's worked up.
So can I ask you, or whoever it is, Those holding cells, am I going to be put in one of those?
I don't know.
Last time I had a panic attack.
Okay.
Let them know that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you're familiar with the big bay. As long as you go in and you act civil to them, they'll set you in the big bay. And you'll be left there for a while.
Can you request that while I'm there?
No, that's not up to us. We don't work at the jail.
As long as like he's saying, if you don't
If
act
you go
up.
in and act like this, you'll go in and they'll put you in the big bay. If you go in there screaming and kicking and yelling and
Why would
cursing
I
at
do
people,
that?
I don't know. I'm just letting you know that's what happens. That's how they weed people out. If you go in acting like this,
So I asked for the big bay?
they'll put you there as long as you're acting like this.
Yeah, because the last time I had a major panic attack on the little things.
Let them know.
Yep.
Go stand up.
I have not
So
found
what am I
anything.
going to do with my purse? Oh, sorry.
Your purse is just going to come, but the cigarettes and stuff can't, so.
I put the lock up too, my bad.
Oh, no, it's all good. Mine are now opposite, so.
What made you all decide to do this?
Made us decide to do this?
Uh-huh.
George is dead.
You guys, I knew this was going to happen.
You did? Okay.
So I came down here willingly.
Yes, absolutely. We were trying to figure out what's going on. We're still trying to figure out what's going on.
Unintentionally.
Well, intentional or not, George is dead.
Even handcuffed, facing a night in a cell, Sarah won't stop making complaints. What she says is grim, yet fitting. She has anxiety issues regarding confinement in a small room, a somewhat similar feeling to what Jorge Torres felt just before he died. Sarah Boone's behavior is a textbook example of a narcissistic personality. Lack of empathy, need for attention, manipulating others, telling lies, changing moods, and overall having a lofty, sassy attitude towards the people around. As a victim of domestic abuse, Sarah's reasons to plan a murder are somewhat understandable, but more believable scenario is that of accidental convenience. The hide-and-seek game was an excuse to take revenge on George. Her sadistic and arrogant personality caused this, and thanks to the video evidence, this case should be closed soon.
Eric, thank you. Breaking at 11, a woman arrested accused of zipping a man in a suitcase, leading to his death. The Orange County Sheriff's Office tweeted this video of 42-year-old Sarah Boone in handcuffs. Deputies say the killing happened yesterday at a home along France Lane in Winter Park. Boone told investigators she and Jorge Torres Jr. were drinking and playing hide and seek. She says she zipped him inside the suitcase, passed out, and forgot about him. But investigators found videos on Boone's cell phone. They say you can hear Torres telling Boone he cannot breathe. According to the arrest report, Boone replies saying, quote, "That's what you do when you choke me. That's what I feel like when you cheat on me." Tonight, she is facing a second-degree murder charge.
Sarah Boone will be tried for murder in early 2022.